Fala galera, estamos começando mais um episódio da série Divinity Original Sin 1, Enhanced Edition, né? Vamos lá. Episódio passado a gente parou aqui nesse trecho da praia, né? A gente tava ajudando o pessoal da Legião. Vamos lá.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel.
We need help! Fast!
Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city. So you were, and so you weren't. Behold, there we are. Meet my other half, hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, kept to be out in the night. To stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course, it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of 2 worlds. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sects, undead, orcs. Well, looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Arhu mentioned?
Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire. We're gonna need more than a few buckets. Water rain down!
Drown my sorrows with ale.
Oh, hail the rain spirit. That was a fine display of magicianship it was. Arhu knew what he was doing, bringing in a source hunter, didn't he? I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails. But you managed to rescue her from a watery grave.
Joyride. No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the bubble bank.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife.
That's why we never sailed the Yentl Door anymore.
Speaking of Yentl Door, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm looks it.
I would lay an oak within 500 yards of my lovely nature.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope.
No, indeed. He drove it straight to the power plant.
I'm one with the air!
Is that why we never sailed the Yellow Door anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I would lay an oak within 500 yards of my
Our
lovely nature.
home, our livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes while we could do nothing but look on. Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. With our ship sunk, we're little more than 3 men with nothing more to say than boo. These damn orcs. They can't keep off this place for the life of them. They came in here slinging fireballs and swinging swords. Wasn't a thing we could do to defend ourselves. With our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job. Slim pickings around here, that's for sure. Maybe you can keep an eye out, though. That was a right stunning show of magic you pulled, it was. Wish you'd have been around when our own...
And don't forget the time you got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything. These bleeding all. Well, that was a rock. Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything, really.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything, really.
He drove it straight to the power plant.
Sauce? Here? In Seal? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one. Who knows if it's even over for sure? Those damn orcs keep sending us these terrible surprises. A ship's got to sail too, you know. You did a mighty fine thing saving that barge. For those of us raised in crews instead of families, it's keep...
Sauce? Here in Seal? Dah.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife.
Is that why we never sailed?
Sauce? Here? In Seal? Bah!
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sicile?
Within 500 yards of my lovely nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! No, indeed. He drove it straight to the power plant.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife.
Is that why we never sailed the Yellow Door anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! No, indeed. He drove it straight to the power plant.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife.
Is that why we never sailed the Yellow Door?
Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things nautic. Folks across Andervale know to give old Conrad a holler when it comes to rare imports and magical items. Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack on a city where a great wizard resides. Though even I must admit they put up a hat, I'll tell you. The only time I'd consider waging a suicide campaign like that would be if whatever I saw...
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I don't know how you did that hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. Nothing worse than seeing a fine vessel like that disappear beneath the waves. I thought the old girl's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails, but you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've ever seen.
Move!
I can't even smell the sea air over this pond.
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Captain's orders. Wait a second. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment, I didn't recognise you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the Orcs put on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field Orc attacks long enough for reinforcements to arrive.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving.
I swear I can hear that bleeding cheese merchant from here.
Keep your pleasantries to yourself. What are you doing inside this warehouse, snooping around? If it's conversation you're looking for, I'd recommend my comrade Florius, or as I prefer to call him, Loose Lips McGee. As for myself, my job is to protect this warehouse, not shit. That idiot man-child would sooner spend an hour chatting up a thief than a minute arresting him. I only hope he gets transferred out of this warehouse and straight to the perimeter. Let him... even thinking of him turns one into a gabbing hen.
Salutations! Source Hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector of this house of Legion goods. Curtius is my name. The Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtius, have been trusted to guard it.
Shalom.
Well, a Source Hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around. And don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop around Undervale. I'm behind on my current affairs. I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. We warehouse guards don't have to do much apart from stroll the perimeter a few times an hour. And of course, every now and again, some friendly folks, like yourself, will wander through here. And nothing beats a pleasant conversation, though my comrade Horatius has quite different opinions on that matter. Have you talked to him? Thinks every man, woman and child who steps foot in this place wants to rob it blind. If I so much as greet a townsperson with a hello instead of a state your purpose, he starts frothing on and on about guardly duty and security breaches. This Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I myself suspect his wife Esmeralda, and the butcher seconds that, let me tell you. Then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself, and there's his children to consider. But I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her mother ever since the incident. Oh, it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around here. That fusspot said what? Well, old loose lips will let that lowly backbiter know what he thinks about that. So, something you'd like to say to my face?
I haven't a thing to say to you. I'm on duty.
This place reeks of all
Indeed. Put up your fists.
Are you mad? We're guards, not drunks on the street.
Enough! What is this barbarism? Back to your post at once!
Sir, this is an important matter. A matter of honor.
Such matters are to be settled on your own time. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Such bickering is all that thieves need to sneak by unnoticed.
It won't happen again, sir.
It better damn well not. Ripple!
Nothing to report, sir.
Too bad indeed. A skeptic like you can deny that she loves me.
An orc in love.
Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us seriously. Maybe you can start with the two idiots hiding their pet orc here.
Cast your gaze into...
Who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her. My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never will...
I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds? Maybe before the Great Orc Raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions, but now we're needed at our posts. I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc when I should be running them through.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit...
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks. You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or
She's got to be put down. If this love potion is as dodgy as it sounds, she could come to her vicious senses at any time.
Agreed. I've never met an orc I trusted, charmed or not.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with common sense around here. I'll do the honours, my
No! She's harmless! You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your own stupidity, but myself and the citizens of Seal as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer. Fortunately, the Wizards of Youthful Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and throw your sugar water on me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem. Thank you, stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
Thank you for talking some sense into that knucklehead. That she-beast would have been the death of us.
I should have done this from the very start.
Smell the sea air over this lot.
Good luck with the Sicilians, Source Hunter. They'll run you...
Source Hunter's here too! Well, if the Legion couldn't save this place, why?
Murder within the walls, undead outside the walls, and here we legionnaires sit, twiddling our thumb.
I've spotted something interesting.
Guess someone else got here first.
This is valuable.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 No matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Huh? Me? Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. Perhaps I can jog your memory. It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Sicile of late. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share with her own master. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration.
Anybody?
She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silver Glen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silver Glen to learn the truth myself. Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to... I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be, from what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hard. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step close. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood. Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of meds.
Stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence. Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say.
I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death?
I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but 1 healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Sicile, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement. Nearly everyone in Sicile is familiar with grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh.
I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger, but it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it. You are? I thank you 1,000,000 times for your help. Who have you decided should receive the healing stone?
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone.
Yes, Boris deserves to experience all the pleasures of life that Stephen has already enjoyed. Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man. No, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning?
I feel no pleasure in bidding you.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was and is and hopefully all that is to be. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3. How you got here, though? That's a rather more interesting question. On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. At last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened. Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
Might be quite mad.
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't it? What's this? The portal! It's... The portal has become active! Fantastic! Astounding! Onward we should go!
It's quite sprung to life, just like the long dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be? You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is called those torches. A light! This portal active once more. It's goodness me how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my... It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well. It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this event, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time, though I cannot say for certain if it is what I believe, then in fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll... After you. Oh...
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here. Author of all that has ever been.
Indeed, Sir Imp, as surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very...
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane? was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well. Is that so? Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are. Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret, a secret lost even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes, though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the void's insatiable hunger.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the void. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing?
Not but a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
What will it be, Source Hunter? Do tell!
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
No matter how improbable, anything is possible.
The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear... No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are and how exactly to send the void back to wherever it came from. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon clues your search will yield. Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. And just, don't go sharing it. Off you go then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so, perhaps she knows why.
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot! Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history, from what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are therefore most like ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed, and consult with my agent. Neither do I, but the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that this in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the void. Now, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age, but of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous. So, gather those Starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice, but do better and close the dark eye of the void. Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore. Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the sons of Sigurd. The last Rivellonian who remembers it died. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, there will be someone waiting for you. I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need hardly remind you, is of the essence. A question has me stumped, milady. Why are there 2 of us? 2 beings that record all of history parallel to one another?
That is a good question, Zigzags. One without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you chronicle, I both chronicle and create. Where you arrive at conclusions, I spin origins besides. It shall be my pleasure, Sir M. I'll embroider it in the first volume of...
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn, and I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer's spiders are. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, the advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes that's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent. Though blood, don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket, but perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity, like any cat worth its salt though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious... Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I lays I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot...
My gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you?
A magical pyramid, eh?
Frivolous and lecherous magic, more like. Leave my house, afore the divines punish you for your aberrant way. Out now, if you please. This room is
Sigurd's
private.
beard! What a find!
There. Go! Away with you!
Beleza, galera, vamos ficando por aqui com esse episódio. Se gostou, deixa o like, compartilha aí. Valeu!